No.
No.
I'm not with him.
No.
Aw. Yeah. Not by choice, but, I respect him. It's all love.
It's not your choice?
I wouldn't have chose it, but it was what was best. But I wouldn't have chose it, no.
After all the money, time, and effort Yo Gotti put into winning Angela Simmons' heart, everyone thought she'd be the queen of Memphis. They seemed perfect together, ready for forever. So fans were shocked when Angela revealed their relationship had ended and she was fully embracing her single girl era.
My choice, I had to make a decision, but I think there's a certain level of what I can share and would share publicly, you know what I mean? And I can publicly say that I'm not with him anymore. But as far as details, I would just never.
But then, the streets started trying to piece together what really went wrong. Did Angela catch Yo Gotti with another woman? Were those rumors about him and Glorilla true, and Angela just couldn't deal with the disrespect? Nobody knew for sure. But according to Angela, the real reason she had to walk away was far darker than anyone expected. See, she already knew what came with dating a rapper. The attention, the women, the lifestyle. That wasn't new to her. What she didn't sign up for was getting caught in the middle of a street war that Yo Gotti's name keeps coming up in. And according to Angela, with how mad people in Memphis still are about Young Dolph's death, it's only a matter of time before the police start building a real case around CMG and everyone tied to it. So what's really going on? And does Angela have a reason to be scared for her life? Now, let's rewind a bit because Angela and Yo Gotti's relationship has always been one wild ride. Yo Gotti chased this woman for years. Literally 6 straight years of open crushes, name drops in songs, and public confessions before she finally agreed to go out with him in early 2003. Once they finally got together, the chemistry was undeniable. Yo Gotti spoiled her endlessly. Designer bags, vacations, luxury cars, the works. He even bonded with her son. And Angela made it clear in interviews that she saw him as the one. Fans were happy for her too, saying it looked like she finally found someone who treated her right after so many heartbreaks. It really seemed like the king of Memphis had found his queen. And everyone thought they'd ride off into the sunset together. But not long after their love story started, everything came crashing down. Angela confirmed the breakup on the Angie Martinez podcast. And from the way she spoke, you could tell something serious had gone down. She wouldn't give exact details, she just said that ending things wasn't what she wanted, but it was what she needed. That alone told fans a lot. Because how do you go from saying he's the one to saying leaving him was the best decision you could make? Something clearly didn't add up. Nobody knew where things had gone wrong. But of course, the internet wasn't about to rest until it found out. Soon enough, rumors started spreading that Yo Gotti's attention might have wandered specifically toward Glorilla, one of his artists signed under CMG. Fans began side-eyeing when Yo Gotti gifted Glorilla a luxurious Cadillac Escalade IQ for her 25th birthday on top of other expensive jewelry and watches he'd already given her. Now sure, that could all just be business, but we've seen this movie before. It's not unusual for artists and their label bosses to start getting a little too close. So people speculated that Angela had seen enough and decided to leave before Yo Gotti's alleged shenanigans publicly embarrassed her. But Angela wasn't about to let that narrative run wild. She made it clear that if she wanted to marry him, she could have. Her leaving had nothing to do with other women. What really scared her was the violence surrounding Yo Gotti's world and how deep it all ran. Because let's be honest, ever since Young Dolph's murder, Memphis hasn't been the same. Streets divided, blood spilled, and everyone even remotely connected to CMG or Yo Gotti has been living on edge. It all started with Don D. Money Childs, who made jokes online about Dolph's death. Not long after, he was gone. Then came a streak of shootings and retaliations that spiraled out of control. In 2022, rapper Big Nuki signed to Moneybagg Yo and cousin to Big 30 was shot too. Later, word spread that he had ties to Justin Johnson, better known as Straight Drop, one of the main suspects in Dolph's murder. Straight Drop, Cornelius Smith, Hernandez Govan, and others charged in the case were all connected in one way or another to CMG and the Memphis gang Trula Mafia. Then, in June 2023, the streets claimed another victim, Joshua Taylor, aka CEO Tizzy, said to be an OG in Trula Mafia. Reports said he was found dead at the scene from gunshot wounds, and it didn't stop there. That September, rapper Lotta Cash Desto was shot multiple times and died before paramedics could get to her. At first, her name didn't seem tied to any of this. But then it came out that she was the daughter of Hernandez Govan, yes, one of the suspects in Dolph's case. That's when people realized this wasn't random anymore. Someone was moving strategically, going after families, associates, anyone with links to the tragedy that took young Dolph. Then, in August 2023, tragedy hit even closer to home. Police confirmed that a man named Tamil Benson, better known as Black Youngsta's brother, had been gunned down. Black Youngsta, one of Yo Gotti's closest artists under CMG, was one of the first people who ever publicly beefed with Dolph and one of the first who allegedly tried to take him out years before the final hit. Now, through all of this, one name somehow remained untouched: Yo Gotti himself. But Dolph's people weren't done. They started coming for everyone around him. Family, friends, even business partners. Angela allegedly began hearing whispers that certain people in Memphis had unfinished business with Gotti and anyone close to him. That was the moment she realized she wasn't safe anymore. According to sources close to her, Angela started feeling like every time she stepped out, she had to look over her shoulder. She couldn't go out freely. She couldn't travel like before, and she hated the idea of her son being anywhere near that kind of danger. For Angela, that was the final straw. She loved Yo Gotti, yes, but no amount of luxury cars, vacations, or designer bags could make her ignore what was really happening. When she looked around and saw people dropping, she knew she had to protect her peace and her child. So when fans started speculating that she'd left him because of another woman, she quietly shook her head. If only they knew. The breakup wasn't about jealousy or disrespect, it was about survival. And when you think about it that way, you can't really blame her. Angela Simmons had already lost people close to her. She wasn't about to become another headline, another tragedy connected to Memphis street politics. So she packed up, moved on, and decided to step fully into her single girl era, not because she wanted to, but because she had to. As for Yo Gotti, he stayed mostly quiet about the breakup, still showing up in public like nothing's wrong. But deep down, the streets are talking. And if what people are whispering is true, if more retaliation is still brewing, then Angela's timing might have saved her life. Because in Memphis, some wars don't ever end.
Evidence that you want to tell you, and then have the cameras rolling on a high-profile case to pressure you to commit a verdict of guilty is patently unfair. And just because he's a nobody and doesn't have money like Gotti or Joe, his brother, who was never even questioned or charged, he's the fall guy. He didn't do anything, even if you believe.
It was also reported that Big Jook was the one who allegedly put a $100,000 bounty on Young Dolph's head, a move that pushed others to go after him and sealed his own fate in the long run. Dolph's crew wasn't about to let that slide. They were determined to make sure justice, street style, was served. In January 2024, Big Jook met his tragic end while attending his uncle's funeral. The attack was swift and fatal, and to this day, no suspects have been identified. With his death, it seemed like the deadly circle had finally come full circle, as if Dolph's crew had gotten their closure. This level of retaliation had never been seen before, not even in Memphis. The city had been consumed by a wave of revenge, all sparked by one man's pride. And that's the craziest part: all this bloodshed, all this chaos, could have been avoided if Yo Gotti had just shown a little humility. If he had simply respected that Young Dolph didn't want to sign under him and instead wanted to build his own empire, things might have gone differently. Just like Gotti did when he started, Dolph wanted independence. But instead of mutual respect, it turned into resentment. Yo Gotti went from admiring Dolph's grind to beefing with him, and eventually trying to strong-arm him into CMG. That decision set off a chain reaction that no one could stop. Now, with the Young Dolph trial still ongoing, things are heating up again. One of the main suspects, Hernandez Govan, accused of orchestrating the hit, was found not guilty of conspiracy and first-degree murder on August 21, 2005. His defense argued that prosecutors never even questioned Big Jook or Yo Gotti despite their deep involvement in the feud. They claimed Govan was just a pawn in CM's deadly chess game, while the real players walked free. With Hernandez Govan being acquitted, the situation has taken yet another shocking twist. The streets are restless, still demanding justice for Young Dolph. And whispers are starting to spread that the feds might be building a case that could change everything, according to reports. Federal investigators are beginning to connect more dots between CMG, Yo Gotti, and the scene of the crime. And if that's true, the tension in Memphis could explode all over again. Angela Simmons reportedly saw all of this coming. Sources close to her say that this was the real reason she decided to walk away from Yo Gotti. She wasn't about to become a casualty in someone else's war. She already knew what came with dating a rapper. But this level of danger, this was beyond what she signed up for. And honestly, can anyone blame her? With Govin walking free, no one knows if Dolph's crew will trust the justice system to finish the job or if they'll take matters into their own hands again. The fear is real, and Angela wasn't willing to risk her peace or her life just to prove loyalty. The internet didn't seem surprised at all. In fact, most people online agreed with Angela's decision to leave. Many believe that Yo Gotti could soon be facing a RICO case, just like other rappers who got caught up in criminal investigations. Even Whack 100 chimed in, saying, "Yo Gotti about to get a RICO next. I'm here to tell y'all don't do street stuff if you don't have to. They want us killing each other for their entertainment. It's all a game to them." And with Young Dolph's squad allegedly taking out nearly everyone involved in his killing, the streets are saying the same thing. Real street justice has already been served. So, what do you think? Was Angela Simmons right to walk away before things got worse? Or is this whole RICO talk just an exaggeration? Sound off in the comments, hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe because this story is far from over.